Hey beer fans, my name's Steve Jaguar and this is another BeerNative beer review. This is day 5 of 7 days of Siren. I've only got 3 left. And in this one I'm going to be reviewing Be More Pacific by Siren Brewing. It is what they're calling a California IPA. Let's take a look at it back in the beer can. Looking amazing as always. Same kind of art. I noticed that for Saturday's review, which I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, they've deviated a little bit from the art, but you'll have to come watch Saturday to find out what that is all about. And also check me out tomorrow at 5 p.m. UK time, where I'll be doing a live review where I compare one of Siren's beers, kind of a weird one, with another beer that claims to have the same characteristics. So we're going to do a little head-to-head. But for now, let's talk a little bit more about the California IPA. Let's get it out of the fridge. Say hello to Chewy. Hey, Chewy! So here we go. I said it wrong. Be More Pacific. Be Even More Pacific, which starts to make me feel like there used to be a Be More Pacific and I'm just late to the game and this is maybe the second edition. Okay. Not too bad. It's a 7.3%, which I swore when I bought this I didn't realize it was. I thought it was like 6, but not too bad. A little bit early in the day perhaps for this one, but I don't know. Do you start with the high ones or do you end with the high ones? It's like an ever-ending debate. An argument as old as time itself. It's interesting that it has a single malted barley, so I'm expecting a very straightforward malt profile. Okay. But in terms of the hops, ooh, interesting. Backing the usual IPA, Simcoe and Citra is a combination I really like. It's Hallertau Blanc with Nelson Sauvin. Now you can kind of put them together. I said it in the wrong order. So if you take the second word of each, you have Sauvin Blanc. Like Sauvignon Blanc, like a white wine, which would be from New Zealand or the Marlborough area, that would have a very strong gooseberry flavor typically. Not all Sauvignon Blancs have that gooseberry characteristic. It's very specific to New Zealand. So much so that in like a blind smelling of white wines, I could pick out a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc like with my blindfold on and somebody kicking me in the nuts. Like it's that obvious. So now I'm really curious about this because both of those hop characteristics are called that because they boast a kind of white wine and gooseberry. Interesting, right? And when I check the tasting notes on the website, take a look at that. Yeah, they are talking about white wine and gooseberry again. So this could be really interesting. So I'm going to crack that open, take a look at it. If you want to learn a little bit more about Siren Brewery, check out day 1. Where I talk about their session IPA, which was also very good. All right. Yeah, it smells like one of those juice bombs right out of the can that a lot of people really love, almost the New England IPA style. It's pretty heavy hitting, and it doesn't smell resinous or like a word I don't use very often, but Brett. It's like it doesn't have an off or kind of bizarre smell that sometimes I get. It's really good. I'm very positive. I'm going to take a little sip out of the can, just to get the can profile. Just to make sure sometimes, like, I had a beer once that was out of date, and it tasted like the can. You ever get that? There's like a metallic twang. I want to make sure that that's not happening first. It's good. Very long taste. I'm not necessarily getting the essence of that, but in the spirit of it, I have a wine glass. So let's check what it looks like after a good pour. I was interested that they chose malted barley as their malt. I think I would have gone with Pilsner just to give it a lighter, more white winey flavor and let those hops shine a bit more, a bit more hop forward. But they did. They went for the consistency, maybe more to be more IPA. Okay, let's put the can aside. Oh, let's get it onto the table. And aside from the fog, there's only a very, very slight haze. And if we go down to the bottom, there's almost none. It's a beautiful golden color. I really like. I was a little too gentle on the pour, but the head seems okay. What's remaining is still there. And it smells really good, really strong. Now it's amplified by the alcohol when I get to the flavor. I know that's going to happen. I'm just trying to prepare myself for it. I'm going to take a little sip first. Just let it sink in. And I'm thinking about white wine. I'm thinking about gooseberry. Okay. Now, in terms of just an IPA, if I was handed this blind, I would have said apricot. I would not have said Sauvignon Blanc wine at all. There is I guess I would say there is a finish, like now, quite a while afterwards, where there's a bit of that tartness that comes with a Sauvignon Blanc. Not tart in the sense of a sour beer, tart in the sense of just a bit of a mouthfeel that kind of leaves you going, smacking your lips a little bit, but in a good way. And I would even add that another one of the characteristics of the Hallertau Blanc, which isn't being called out in the tasting notes, there is a cassis style of, I think of it as like Wagamama. You ever walk into a Wagamama restaurant and you get this kind of ginger and lemongrass? I associate that with Hallertau Blanc more than the white wine flavor, but you can see there's a relationship between those two styles of flavor. I'm getting that more. So apricot, lemongrass, maybe not cassis. Yeah, that's my third sip, and I get apricot, and I get lemongrass, and a really trailing edge of Sauvignon Blanc, or that style of white wine. So I guess I see where that's coming from, but it took the third sip for me to really acknowledge that. So I guess I'm going to say there's no way that I was not going to like this. Just based on the malt and the hops, the brewery's reputation I've already established for myself, even if I didn't already have some form of bias from several people who have written to me saying, do 7 days of Siren, you'll love it. So I'm going to score it up. I've been giving Siren 7 out of 10 aggregated for packaging and art throughout the week because they are all beautiful cans and they're all the same. So it makes sense to keep that consistent. So we're going to start with a 7. In terms of uniqueness, I really like the fact that they took a shot at something with a white wine tinge. I think they could have been a bit bolder in their description, but I still like it. It met the description and more. So accuracy, I'm going to go with a California, though. I guess because they're going with a California Sauvignon Blanc, but I think that that's not correct. They should have gone with like a New Zealand. If they said New Zealand IPA, I would have suggested that. I'm not sure where the California comes in. I have no idea. Like Nelson Sauvin is from New Zealand as well. So very strange. So is it accurate? To meet my expectations, kind of mediocre. I'm going to go 3. Is it unique? Yes, I think the end result is unique. So I'm going to go 4 on that. Now I'm at 14. Do I like it? I think it's an 8 out of 10. So it's going to be a 22 out of 30, which is going to be just sub 4, maybe a 3.75. Yeah, that's what it's going to get. Which is actually, believe it or not, it's a great score, but it's a little low for some of the Sirens I've had so far. I'm already a big fan of the brewery, but I'm gonna judge this thing on what it is. It's a great tasting beer, but I feel like it's odd that I feel like they didn't know what they wanted to call it with California IPA. You know, I think they could have had better notes and they could have had a better name around it that would have led me down a road that would have made me say, yes, this is definitely that. Amazing. So, another amazing beer from Siren Brewing. Go check them out. I've always got the brewery in the notes below the video, so along with a whole bunch of other interesting stuff. You can find my Instagram, you can find my Twitter, you can find links to the videos, of course, which will come up at the end. But most importantly, please subscribe and give me the little thumbs up and leave a comment, because weirdly, all those things matter, not to you, but to me and to other people who love beer, because the more you say, oh, this was a good video, then YouTube goes, oh, people like this video, and so then they send it out to other beer fans without them having to go hunt for it. And it's all good, right? You're kind of helping the beer community. All right. Thanks for watching. I'm Steve Jaguar. Keep drinking great beer.